gentlemen, the doctor's in the house. That's right. This is your Grove Show. I'm your host, Dr. Giggles, Josh, whatever you feel like calling me. As long as you don't call me Shirley, I guess. So this week is going to partake with Kennywood's big announcement today. We're going to talk about upcoming announcements so everybody can mark their calendars. We're also going to talk about some tidbits of news. We'll talk about Ace Day at Lake Compounce. We'll talk about this weekend's Ace Plays in Maine. And then I want to talk to you guys, because you guys are the soul of the show. We're revamping the entire thing of SFNEOnline's YouTube, the Grove Show, and I know it sounds crazy. I'm always talking about revamping. You know what I'm saying? But you always got to try what I call try to stay relevant, and so on and so forth. So what I did, because it's back to school sale time, I bought me two of these. One's for the Grove Show, SFNEOnline Grove Show, and one's for the other YouTube channel. You know me and my bright ideas, and I'm always coming with things, and I'm just trying to stay relevant in my own mind. So that's what I like to do. So what's up, Luco, Infinite Coasters, Lindsay Yale Entertainment, and everybody that's watching. So by the end of this, I am going to talk to each and every one of you. I want feedback from everybody, and I know a lot of people don't like to sometimes give feedback, but I want the feedback. Just because you guys are the ones that watch the stuff. I need to know what you guys like, what you hate, what you want to see more of, and I'm going to write it down tonight in my green book. The green is going to be the Grove Show, because the Grove, and a lot of people don't even know how the Grove Show started, and the meaning behind it. And I think I've said it before on the show, but that's because it's got the envision of it came from the Picnic Grove at Six Flags New England. That's how that all got started. So in case anybody's wondering, and I think the name of the show is eventually going to change. Only because I believe what I want to say is August 1st, I'm killing off the Grove Show's Facebook page. So if you don't belong to the, SFNEOnline Facebook page, then you should probably do so, because that's where the information is going to be. So let's see, you took a quick trip to Playland's Castaway Cove. Wild Waves has some airtime, but it's pretty forceless. Gale Force is smoother, but the restraints don't feel right for me, and they staple you. Don't mind the wanding thing, because they have bins in the station. No, Lugo, just so you know, things are not going to get erased. Whatever's there is staying. I'm not erasing anything. It will always, I guess the stuff that's on the Facebook page. So if you can download things, download them. I'm going to download what I can to keep, videos and whatnot. That if I can download them, I'm going to make a, like a little collection of it for the, like a throwback kind of thing. But we'll get all into that in at the end of tonight's show. You should leave it for posterity, maybe. Rename it to the old channel or something. The problem that I have with, the YouTube channel that you're watching this on is going to stay. The old channel, there's the other SFNEOnline channel, and I'm going to go through that, and I don't know what I'm going to name that, or I don't know what we're going to do with that, but, yeah, the other SFNEOnline that was created by Zach and AJ, that one's not going to really do too much for the time being. I'm sure we'll use it for something. I'm not sure exactly what yet, but we will do things. And we're just, I'm always, my brain's always thinking and trying to redo things. And as we progress, and again, I know the move back to my parents' house is like at least minimum a year out, and that's when the whole look, probably a name change will happen. But the problem is trying to run multiple Facebook pages, things get neglected, and yeah, it's just not a fun thing. I'm also going to be working on videos on basically recruiting people to help us out at SFNEOnline. We're doing things. The video is going to come out with that. I still got to record the video. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that tonight after the show about the mystery box number 3. There's things I got to do, and I got to get everything ready for the weekend. Because we're going to go live from Palace Playland. We're going to go live from Funtown, Splash Town. You know, make the videos and all that, and just record stuff like we always do. And you know, and all that stuff. And I think we created a monster with Jessica and Danielle. They're at what they call St. Mary's Feast. You know, the churches all have fairs and feasts and stuff. They're over there, and they were like, "Oh, we got a kitty credit," and they were asking me how the credits, counting credits worked and all that. She's like, "Oh, I'm screwed. I don't remember what I wrote and what I didn't write and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Don't worry about it. We'll figure that out." So let's get into the news, so that way we can talk about the big thing. The big thing is Kennywood's announcement today, and then we'll talk about everything else. So anyway, so let's just get right on into all this. So let's kick it off with Universal Orlando. That brand new nighttime show. It's called Cinematic Celebrations. Now open. A lot of people have been saying a lot of great things about it. A lot of people, the reviews on it, they're saying it's great. They love it. So it's something to check out on your next visit and see what happens with that. Then also, all the track for the new Harry Potter coaster is in place. So now it's just building buildings and doing the theming and all that. And the rumor that I'm hearing is they're trying to get this done. Trying to get open before Star Wars Land, basically. You know, when it comes in the next fall. So they're trying to get that. I mean, they're like balls to the wall. They're doing all kinds of crazy things, and they're trying to, you know, get it all going and everything. And it's getting crazy over there. So the track's all done. Now they're just going to finish up the rest. And then once that's ready and ready to go, they're going to open up the new Harry Potter coaster. I mean, there's a lot of cool elements in that thing. To me, like, the way I felt about the misrepresentation of Gringotts Bank, the way that they promoted the ride, and the way that I don't like it because I'm not about screen the ride. That's just my personal preference. I know a lot of people love it, so by all means, love it. Not a favorite of mine, but this is an actual coaster, so I'm pretty happy about that. It may kind of lure me back to want to go back to the park, because right now I'm like, I don't really want to go. I mean, I'm not going to go like right away like everybody else, because I don't want to wait like 12 hours or 10 hours or whatever the current wait times would be. My PC is restarting and not up and running yet. You know, I hate when a PC is, you know, restarting. It takes, you would think with technology in today's world, and what's up BSM, by the way, things would be quick, instant, and it's not. I don't know what's wrong with technology. I don't know if we hit a kind of like a stagnant part of technology, because you would think by now there'd be like a lot of crazy stuff, and I don't know if we've hit a wall or things have just come so fast that things just aren't keeping up. I don't know what the deal is. It's just technology's like forever evolving, but it's slow. Like, it's not. I'm waiting for the next great big bang thing of technology, and it's not. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know what the next big crazy technology is. You know, you always had, you know, like the internet. Bam, that was like a smack in the face. Like, and look how it is today. It took all these years from when it started, when everybody started using it, and now it's like bam. It's just everyday use. You're on your phone, your watch, whatever. It's crazy. I'm looking at where I watch it on the globe, and when I touch it, it tells me where I am on this map. That's kind of cool. See? Technology. So, yeah, that's what Universal Orlando. I'm waiting to hear more. I mean, they all know they've announced something, but they didn't really go into detail, you know, back when. So I'm waiting for more detail for Harry Potter. Next, Kings Island. A little kind of like congratulatory thing. They've welcomed their 2 millionth rider on that already. So that's not bad. That's actually pretty good. That's happening pretty quick, 2 millionth visitor. That's pretty nice, actually. I think that's pretty stellar for the ride. I mean, all the hype that they created with what's in the shed. I'm still looking for my weed whacker, you know. So nobody's brought me back my weed whacker from the shed. Still waiting. Still waiting. Where is it? Kings Island, I want my weed whacker. Waging Wagging Rivers Water Park in Yorkville, Illinois. See, this is the thing that I agree. Medical tech should be more supported than Silicon Valley tech. I mean, there's a lot that they can do with medical tech that probably needs to be done in today's world and society. But we all know where people's minds are with a lot of things, so that's where we're at in the world, and it's kind of stinky, I guess. So anyway, so the water park. This is why I hate the whole locker policy. Somebody had about $2,000 worth of stuff valued at $2,000 stolen from the locker. Somebody was able to get in and take their stuff. There was like iPads and cash and credit cards and what have not. And there has to be a way in today's world that we can find a happy medium. And this whole locker thing is going to move into the next topic in a second. But my whole thing with lockers is I hate them. I know that the example with Universal Studios in Orlando and Islands of Adventure, that they have the lockers and they're free, and you know, you have to either wait for the locker if there is none, so on and so forth. And then there's always the possibility, and I've seen it, and I know people that happen, that people had their stuff stolen out of lockers, even at Six Flags. And I am not a huge fan of this. I hate the whole locker thing because they can easily have stuff stolen when there's all these crooked people that are looking over your shoulder when you're not paying attention and taking the what do you call it, the code. While the fingerprint locker would be great, I wish we didn't have to use lockers. I know that's not going to happen, especially with stupidity, because here's the stupidity alert that runs right into this. That new they should be just before the ride station and not before a 2-hour line. Well, stupidity alert. That nice big giant crazy swing ride, like the Sky Screamer that's in Orlando over by the Orlando Eye. They're saying a cell phone fell 450 feet. I don't know if it's exactly that tall, but regardless, somebody was filming on the ride and it fell and it landed on its back. And it was still filming until they got it. So it didn't bust the phone. I'm sure maybe the back's messed up. I don't know. But the phone itself survived, and the video is up online. And again, it's because of people like that is why we have the lockers and we have all these rules, because people just don't know how to just keep it in their pocket or do it. There's so many people now that want to be... most rides are enter one side and exit the other. It's tough, especially like, all right, give you the example. You ride Millennium Force, you get in one spot and you get out in a different before coming into the station, and then the train comes in empty. But yeah, it's because of people like that and the stupidity that now we have to have ride lockers, and it really grinds my gears, I guess, so to speak. I should make a video about that, ranting about ride lockers and stupid people. Maybe that should be a video I should write down to do. But in any case, it's because of people like that, and everybody's trying to be YouTube famous or social media famous, so they're just trying to, I gotta get that on camera, I gotta do this, I'm cool. What's up, Coaster Box? And I gotta be cool because I'm on a ride and I'm filming myself. When you're not supposed to, it says you can get banned, and more people are getting kicked out of the park, which is good that the park's noticing that. They're stopping the rides, and then they're making people, kicking them out, take the phones and kicking them out. Eventually, they'll learn a lesson. I heard about Steel Curtain, and we're going to talk about that after all the news. I was just waiting for the audience to keep building up as we get in there, as we get there, and so yeah. But yeah, so again, stupidity people cause stupid problems, and that's why we have all these ride lockers, and that's why there's all these rules, and that's why it makes me angry about all this stuff. All right, so Hershey Park, their ride announcement is, I coming up on August 2nd. They're going to unveil their 2019 attraction. The weird thing I've seen pop up was there was a patent filed in 2018. A name popped up called Reese's Cup Fusion. That was like something to do with their promotion with the candy bar when they were doing the Reese's Pieces and the thing. But it was entered under Hershey's Chocolate and not Hershey Entertainment. So maybe it was to kind of throw people off. I don't know. But I don't know what the ride is. Is it a dock ride? Is it a kid ride? Is it a family ride? Is it a roller coaster? I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. I'm probably safely going to assume that they're probably, if they don't put a roller coaster in next year, they're probably going to put one in for 2020 because of, well, CoasterCon's there. They're doing the big expansion. So we know how that rolls out. It's not guaranteed because there's been a lot of CoasterCons where there hasn't been a new coaster. Yeah, Donnie's been, yeah. So I don't know when that, I don't know when Cedar Fair is going to start announcing their stuff, but I think next week I'm going to do a Cedar Fair predictions thing on the show, and then I'll record a video about it and talk about that. Like I did, 2 weeks ago about Six Flags predictions. So, and that I'm actually like gathering all the stuff that I actually physically think is going to go into the parks, and then we'll see. But I'm going to make a video and upload that for next week. So I have no idea what's going into Hershey Park. I have no idea. This year was water park. Last year was a flat with the three towers. So I have no idea what this ride is going to be. I'm curious. I don't know if anybody out there has heard anything, but I haven't heard a damn thing. They're keeping it pretty tight-lipped. And I'm not expecting it to be like a huge expansion because 2020 is the big kind of thing. So this is what I call the calm before the storm is what I would call this. The next tidbit would be Schlitterbahn in Kansas City. The court, after all the evidence and everything, they are allowing the park to remove the route, and they're going to do it after Labor Day, and then it's going to come down. So you gotta, for those that don't want to look at it anymore, you gotta wait till after Labor Day, and it says it's gonna take like a couple weeks to come down, and then it'll come down. It'll be done. Is that all the news that I got? A reminder for those that like food and like beer, starting tomorrow is the Food and Brew Festival at Six Flags New England. Runs for 10 straight days. So if the 29th is the ending, I believe. So if you're into the whole food and brew thing, I gotta find like a time in between to go and check it out and see what's what. So by all means, if you haven't, go online, buy your food and drink tickets. That's not included with your meal plan or anything. It's an extra add-on thing, and it'll be good. So maybe next week I'll play hooky one day and I'll go. Because the kids are going away starting Sunday. They're going to Cedar Point, Six Flags over Georgia, Hershey Park, Tampa Busch Gardens, I believe. So they're going to have some fun, and we'll see what happens. You know, hopefully the kids are smart enough to record stuff. I got to tell them, record your trip. Put it on the phone, give me the phone, and then I'll put the stuff on a computer and make a video of it. It'd be nice just to see what they do, and then I can edit it all together. All right, so let's talk about this Kennywood stuff. So today, everybody knew that there was a big announcement coming. So nobody knew. Everybody had an idea it was a roller coaster, but nobody knew what. Nobody knew what was going on. People had to put the pieces together and all that stuff. So we all know. And matter of fact, at 10 o'clock tonight, I've already recorded, edited. It seems pretty legit and cool with pictures and video with the POV. It's a first look and thoughts video. That's going to get more in depth than what I am going to talk about for Steel Curtain. And so you can watch that, and even during the show, I'm going to ask the question now, and while I'm talking, you guys can let me know. What do you think about the ride? Do you like the theme? Do you hate the theme? Do you like the Steelers? Do you not like the Steelers? Do you think the ride's going to be good? Do you think the ride's going to suck? Do you think it's a mistake using SNS? Do you think it's a good move? So while I'm sure all of you know all about the ride already. So let me know while I'm talking about the ride for those that don't know. What your thoughts about this ride is? I'd like to really know. So we all know that it's made by S&S. It's their biggest roller coaster to date. It's going to be 220 feet tall. It's going to have the tallest inversion in the world at 197 feet. It's going to go 76 miles an hour. Track length is 4,000 feet. It's going to have 2 trains that are 24 passengers. It's going to have 9 inversions, the most in the United States. So there's a lot to it. There's 3 record-breaking things. The presentation, the video that they did to unveil this, they had something on the cover. I didn't think it was a train because it just looked like a weird object under it. But they had the guy from SNS come out and talk about it, they were talking about the scratch ticket thing and the word search, and and so on. So I personally, I'm not a Steelers fan at all. I'm obviously being from New England. I'm a New England fan, but don't take it like I'm a hardcore fan because I am not. I don't watch games. I don't care. I'm not a huge sports fan. I used to be, but I just hate. I don't have time to watch sports. I don't care. I don't get caught up in it like a lot of people do. A lot of people make it their life, so I don't care. But that's not. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna hate the thing. And you can watch the video later on at 10 o'clock. It drops about it. But I think it's gonna be a success. I think it's gonna be cool. I'm hoping that they use the restraints, like the vest restraints, like from Vekoma, and not headbanging. I don't know. I didn't see anything about the trains. I didn't see anything. But then, like after they had the guy, the trolley come with the kangaroo and the Steelers mascot, and the VP of marketing of the Steelers come out and talk. During that, I started getting work calls because I was at work watching it, so I couldn't finish watching the whole thing. So I didn't see any pictures of the trains. Even when I went on KENNYWOOD's website, there was nothing about the train, so I don't know what they look like. I just see the ride going, the POV, and I couldn't find anything about the train. I couldn't find anything about the trains, so I don't know. So it's one of those things where I'm trying to gather even more information. Maybe they'll release more later. Hey, it's all good, Costa Kev. All that matters is you're here now, and with the odd thing that I found about was a partnership with the Steelers. I find that weird. I don't know why. I don't know like what the deal was. I don't know who came to who for what. And now they have they got a whole area. They're gonna have the play structure. They're gonna have the 2-minute drill thing where you can throw the footballs. They're gonna have the patio and the sports bar thing. They're gonna have that entrance and go through the tunnel like you come in and get in like coming in like for a game and so on. Actually, that statement's not true. There are a lot of coaster enthusiasts that love sports. I see it on Facebook all the time. I used to be a huge sports fan. I used to play sports. I used to play roller hockey. I used to play baseball. In like middle school, I played basketball. Believe it or not, being a short. I mean, I think I only scored a couple baskets in my life, but I've played sports, and I was halfway decent. Nothing. It's just I just got bored with sports and I moved on to other things. I used to be a diehard Patriots fan, and the last few years, I don't know if it's because they won all the time. I don't know, between the rule changes and all the baloney going on. I mean, this is before the kneeling and all that. That had no effect. I mean, I used to play, fantasy football. I used to kill it at that. I used to be hardcore and I would go to games. And as time went on, I just don't care. Did I see Redskins Under the Sky coaster at SFNE? I don't know. I don't remember seeing. You may have seen. They had the football thing over by where Gotham City Gauntlet is. That may have had the Redskins thing. Because if you remember back in those days when before the gauntlet went up, before they went into bankruptcy, the guy that owned Six Flags, the majority stakeholder, was the owner of is the owner of the Washington Redskins. Because I remember seeing that, and then people were like, "You're in New England and putting the Redskins," like, not cool. So it is what it is. I just grew out of sports. I like playing my pinball machines. I play video games time to time. I like traveling. I like the experience and not getting caught up like in stuff like even coasters. I mean, when I first joined Ace, I was all caught up in getting credits and being, doing all that crazy stuff. Now I'm just like, I just want to enjoy it, take it in, enjoy what I'm doing. I want the experience. I just don't want, I found when I was chasing credits, it was ruining my time. So now I don't care. If I don't get to it, then I'll come back to the park and get them. I mean, unless I don't like the park, and then I'll just make sure I just get the credits, ride what I can, and get the hell out. But lately I haven't found that. Sup, Charles? This seems to be a crazy new design, hoping the rest of 2019 announcement impresses. I think I saw that on a computer photo map about 8 to 10 years ago. Yeah, Tell Ella I said hello as well back, Costa Kev. I'm hoping, like, all the 2019, based on rumors, is starting to kind of, like, build up to be a great year coaster-wise. There seems to be a lot of build-up between Carowinds. I know that Dollywood's getting the Kitty inverted, the Junior inverted. Magic Mountain, supposedly getting some big coaster. Now, Kennywood, the rumor of Dorney Park with the CGI coaster. Carowinds with a dive coaster. I mean, these are all just rumors going around. But 2019 seems to be a pretty good year. I think overall, like I was saying a couple weeks ago with my predictions with Six Flags, I think it's going to be light in terms of coasters. Like, I feel it's going to be more water park flat rides than actual coasters. So I'm thinking it's going to be a lot of that industry-wide. Some parks are going to get the coasters, like Canada's Wonderland, Magic Mountain. I feel Great Adventure is a contender for one. We'll see how it pans out. I don't know what's going to happen. But this 2019 looks to be a great year for coasters, for additions. I mean, think about it. Universal is going to have the Harry Potter coaster opening up in 2019. I wish Star Wars Land was having a roller coaster, but it's not. So, I don't know. It just seems like this year was kind of like mediocre in terms of additions. There wasn't really a lot of... I mean, I haven't ridden Steel Vengeance, so I don't have an opinion on that yet. But that seems to be the go-to coaster of the year. I have ridden Oscar's Waxy Taxi as a new credit. Love it. I know it's not big like Steel Vengeance, but it was great. Also, you had Twisted Timbers, which was another good one for this year. But it just seems like next year seems to be kind of the focal point of the coaster year. Flats and dock rides must be added. Dollywood, like Dutch Wonderland has new in 2018, yeah. I probably meant GCI or whoever. Whoever it is. I get them all confused. CCI, CGI, GCI, CGI, GCI, CGI. I think it's GCI. I get them mixed up. Yeah, that guy Daniel Snyder wasn't really the brightest bulb in the box. I don't know. I mean, obviously what he was doing was sick, but I mean, that stuff was just going on with just overspending and not really... I mean, what Six Flags as a company is doing now is a hell of a lot better. I may not like everything that they're putting in, but at least it's not bankrupting them and it's benefiting them. But it seems so far this year that attendance is down, I guess, across the board. Well, at least the last quarter was anyway. So it seemed like the attendance was down, and Not sure why. I mean, usually when gas prices start going up, everybody stays local and doesn't travel, unless people are still traveling instead of staying local. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But with the Hershey Park thing, I really think, honestly, with the Steelers, it makes sense. Because if you think about it, the way Pittsburgh is as a city, everything's all intertwined together. They all, it's like all for one kind of thing, like it's just like a big community. So I can understand why they did the thing. It's just weird, and it came out of left field, and I wasn't expecting this a partnership with Pittsburgh Steelers and doing that whole area. I mean, it looks nice. I could care less, but I'm still going to experience what there is besides the coaster. Of course, I'm going to ride the coaster, but I like to try new things and see all that stuff going on. Oh, also before I forget, Wipeout at Palace Playland has officially opened today. Dave gave me the word, and he told me that it has officially opened. The height requirement is 36 inches with an adult to get on Wipeout, which is the spinny kiddie coaster. So those that are going to Ace Plays in Maine this weekend, you will get your credit. So make sure you head on over. You'll get your credit. I don't know if they're going to put it on ERT. I don't know what's going to happen, but you'll be able to get your credit. For those that are looking to count the credit, it is officially open. So again, the Kennywood thing, I'm excited about it. But at the same time, I'm a little kind of disappointed. And I know it's kind of like weird contradicting myself. The only reason why I say that is because Kennywood has always been known as one of these classic magical parks because the way that they've had their coasters. Yes, they've had a Steel with Steel Vengeance. But it just fit into the whole atmosphere of the park. Now you're adding this big yellow and black thing in a whole area that just doesn't seem to fit the scheme of Kennywood. When you look at the ride selection, you look at all the rides, and I don't know, man. This edition feels out of place. It was kind of like when they put in the new coaster at Knoebels. And you look at what Knoebels is, and then you see this big metal coaster in there, and it's like, really? Like, it doesn't fit. I mean, the ride's great. I'm not knocking a ride. It throws you for a loop. And I know, literally. But, and the same thing's going to happen with the Steel Curtain. It's going to look out of place. It's going to be like, why is this here when you have all this around you? And I get it. You have to kind of move on with the times. And, because kids, unless their parents are like coaster enthusiasts or the kids like fall in love with roller coasters and go nuts and goo for them, most kids don't care about a lot of the old stuff. They're like, that's old. Why do I want to ride that for, And that's the sad thing. I think all rides should be appreciated for what they are. And I love what Kennywood has done, I love the Racer, I love Thunderbolt, I love Jackrabbit, I love Exterminate, I even love Skyrocket, I love Phantom's Revenge, and I love that flat. We've said this before. I did, and I love Kennywood, and then now adding this, I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic ride. I'm hoping that what do you call it? I think locally this thing is going to be a smashing success. I also think for the coaster enthusiast community, people are going to love it. I think it's a win-win for Kennywood. And if you watch the video that drops in less than an hour, that's going to pop up on YouTube, you can get into it. But let me ask you guys that are watching right now, what do you guys think about this edition at Kennywood? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's stupid using the Steelers? Do you like it? Are you a Steelers fan? So just let me know what you think down below. In these comments here in the chat. I really would like to know, what you guys think about this ride. Because, it looks cool. Goes upside down. I'm just hoping that, it's smooth transitions going into the inversions. I do like coming up off that lift hill, coming down and flipping up. I like that, just right off the bat going upside down. I loved it with Twisted Timbers, and I'm sure I'm going to love it with this. So, but what do you guys think about it? You've heard me blab about it. What do you think? Also, one last tidbit of news. For those going to the Great Escape, keep in mind, as of right now, if you go on their website, the Comet and the bobsled coaster are closed for the time being. I have no idea what happened. But something's going on with those two coasters, and they're closed right now. So if you're heading up there, keep that in mind. So you hate the name, but like mixing sports and parks. Yeah, Shapiro. I mean, I met Shapiro once. I met him when they were doing the what do you call it? The scavenger hunt for Bizarro, so you get the golden ticket. I have that in a bin. I still have the golden ticket from the scavenger hunt that got you into Media Day for Bizarro. I met him during that. Myself, and AJ, we saw him, and he was with the park manager, and they were talking, and then we said hi, and then Shapiro was with his two young kids at the time, and he was telling his kids that it cost millions to repaint this, and but we were talking. He was asking us if we were excited about it, and we were talking for a few minutes, nothing like a couple of hours or nothing, but a few minutes talking to him. It seems like a nice guy. I just think I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things. I guess business sense with the park between Snyder and Shapiro. I know they tried things, and I have to. I do like the whole Mr. Six thing, and I really wish he was still around. I actually do miss the Mr. Six character. That was like an original character made by the park. I just wish it was still. I wish Mr. Six was still around. I know people were complaining it was like a creepy old man and whatnot, but I miss Mr. Six. I'm not gonna lie. I love Mr. Six. I wish Mr. Six was still around. All right, so let's quickly get into the whole Ace Day at Lake Compounce. For those that know, we already released a video for that. We're showing what we did for the day. It wasn't like the whole event and experience and all that. It was just kind of like, hey, we were here, we did this, that, and the other, water park rides, ate ice cream, ate some food, etc., etc. But there are tidbits of things that happened during that. Matter of fact, we were in line for Ghost Hunt, and the guns went down. The ride op said it was going to be like a day or two to get them fixed. None of the guns would work. It did reopen later, but it was more of a dark ride, no shooting, which was cool to kind of take that in later on, to be able just to ride through it, not have to worry about shooting. So that was cool. They're like, oh, you could pretend to shoot if you want, but the guns don't work. Actually, when we got to the park, they had a problem with Boulder Dash. It kept tripping the power, and then they had to drive down, I think, to Hartford to get a part, and they fixed it, and it was running fine. I did find out that they still have issues with the belt for the lift on Wildcat when I was talking with Jerry. But he says just every day they go in there and they got to readjust and tighten up the belt. So that's like a work in progress kind of thing. Speaking of S&S could sign in through the internet and see what was going on with their drop tower downtime. It took until 5 o'clock at night for the incident to happen. It seems like when the ride was heating up, when it got to the top, it just wouldn't drop, and then they would have to bring it down to maintenance mode. So they were sending the parts were coming midweek. They could be here already, and we'll see what happens with that. So they were sending parts. They think they figured out what was wrong. And somebody was saying Steel Curtain, the most memorable and strongest nickname of the Steelers team. It is. And I mean, it's fitting. It's just weird. And I kind of figured that without seeing anything, that it was going to be black and yellow. Once they announced Steelers and then you see it and it's da-da-da-da. And I'm like, that makes sense. With the whole... It's still just baffling that they went, they did that. It just blows my mind that they went and they did that. I don't get it, but... It's just weird because I've never really seen a partnership like that with the park and adding a whole area dedicated to the team. It was just... It's almost like having a Hall of Fame with some things to do and a roller coaster put inside an amusement park. Because I don't know how many of you go to your local sports teams venues and stuff. Like if I go to the New England Patriots Stadium, above the pro shop they have the Hall of Fame and the museum, and there's some things to do up there, and this is kind of reminds me of that, except now it's inside an amusement park. Kind of reminds me of that, so it's different for sure. There is a tower of terrible yellow twirling towels in that new area. Yeah, it's, I mean, with the whole, like I said, with the whole Pittsburgh Steelers thing and the towels, it's all going to be, compounded into one thing. There's no way around it. And, I mean, it'd be nice. Imagine if every NFL team went to their local amusement park and did something like that. Like, hey, like New England Patriots went to Six Flags or Canopy Lake or somebody and was like, hey, let's do this and just do this. I mean, it would be cool, and then every team, every fan of a team could be like, yay, I mean, it's cool and interesting to see, but like I said, it threw me for a loop. Because of, like, Kennywood's history, I would have never guessed that was happening in a million years. Would have never guessed. I did not, that was kind of like when I was saying they were never going to RMC Cyclone, and then it became Wicked Cyclone. I'm not always right. I'm usually more wrong than right. But it just, like I said, this whole thing threw me for a loop, and it just surprised me. I was stunned when I'm sitting there looking at this. Yeah, see? Partnership with Santa Clara. 49ers and Cedar Fair, California Adventure. The Great America in California. So there's partnerships and things to be done. And maybe the other NFL teams will watch this and see how successful it is. Because, I mean, if you think about it, the NFL teams are a business, not just sport. They're not just a sports team, but they're worth billions of dollars and they make money. You got to pay the salaries of the players. You're selling merchandise. You're taking money in. There you go, Patriots Place at Edaville. But the whole point of the thing is, if this turns out to be successful, maybe you'll see more NFL teams do that, because the more eyes you can get out there in the public, the better it is for your team. So by doing Kennywood's a very popular park, obviously. So putting that there is always going to keep your mind and thinking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's genius. I'm surprised Robert Kraft hasn't tried to do that with some park. I am totally surprised that he hasn't done that. Yeah, I mean, because Robert Kraft is a genius businessman for the owner of the New England Patriots. Genius businessman, and I'm surprised he hasn't done that. So I would say kudos to the Pittsburgh Steelers for getting involved in that. That's really a good power play move, but still took me by surprise. Totally. But as for, let me see, it would help Dorney and Valley Fair with the Vikings and the Eagles. It would. Because if you think about it, if Valley Fair and Dorney Park could make deals with their respective teams in the area, they can do cross promotion. So if the Eagles said something about, hey, go to Dorney Park, check out the Philadelphia Eagles, blah, blah, blah. And then, the Vikings go, hey, check out Valley Fair, blah, 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 blah. Maybe it's the domino effect that starts taking place. Maybe they can find some kind of partnership and work with each other. It could be something good. I don't know. We'll see how successful this is and see how they move forward. But that is a good idea, especially the smaller parks that really need the love. Because look at Dorney and Valley Fair, especially in the Cedar Fair chain. They're really like the redheaded stepchild of the chain. Them two parks, along with Michigan's Adventure. Detroit Lions could get involved in that, maybe. I don't know. But I'm just saying that the whole thing is just crazy. Those Giants are too close on the central Jersey area. See, the Giants and the Jets, I don't respectively call them New York teams. I call them New Jersey teams because the stadium's in New Jersey. I know it's close to New York, but they're not in New York. The only technical New York team for the NFL is the Buffalo Bills. So technically, that's in my eyes, the only NFL team. They should be called the New Jersey Jets and the New Jersey Giants. Let's be honest about that for a minute. Yeah, if you build it, they will come. I mean, it's another genius idea because you know the partnership that they made between Kennywood and the Steelers. You know there's money exchanging hands. Especially for naming rights and stuff. And having the Pittsburgh Steelers thing, they're getting the rights. I'm sure Pittsburgh Steelers are throwing some dough at it. As a promotional thing, it's going to be part of their marketing. They're going to be throwing dough at it. It would be beneficial, you know, if Dorney and Michigan's Adventure and Valley Fair and other parks could get dough out of these NFL teams to do that. Excuse me. It could be a win-win. Somebody better get on the phone with them. Yeah, I know the Michigan's Adventure's on the wrong side of the state, but it's still Michigan and Detroit and made a bet, but the green lights were going by Super Week. Yeah, see, I mean, I did like when Six Flags New England and Six Flags Over Georgia made that bet between having, clam chowder and, what was that, peach cobbler pie or something. You know, the loser had to put the other one's food in that. And that was cool. And then I've seen other parks where they had to name a ride for like a day or a weekend, whatever, based off of who won. You know, at the loser park. I like that stuff. I mean, it's fun. It gets the fans of the teams and the fans of the parks involved. Man, I need another Motrin. The other day I had 2 teeth, the broken ones, taken out, and they're hurting today. Not as bad as yesterday or the other day, but it's getting better every day. I'm waiting to see how it works out when I go to Maine this weekend to see how that pans out. But as for AT Lake Compounce, you guys can keep talking about Kennywood, and I'll just keep chiming in and sound like I'm a scatterbrain as I stop talking about this and then going into that, because I know there's a delay for some reason to you guys, and then you guys just don't end up, you know the drill. You know how it works. There was the NFL when when the Patriots played Atlanta Falcons, when the Patriots made the greatest comeback in NFL history, and took the game to overtime and won the Super Bowl and blew my mind. Which, the cool story about that was the day after that Super Bowl, I was heading down to New Jersey because on the Tuesday of that week, I was hitting a 12-day cruise, and the port was out of Jersey. So the day after, I had gone to the Statue of Liberty because I had never been. And I wanted to go, and I went by myself like a little loner loser guy. And going through all the security, I had my Patriots jersey on. And I had to take my coat off to put it through the scanner and empty my pockets, all that. And then they were like, all the security people like, oh my God, that game, it was nuts. Oh my God, congratulations. They weren't even like hating on me. They were like, the game blew my mind. Yeah, McDonald's always had lobster rolls. They just do that in the summertime. That's, it just comes out for like a little while and it goes away because they're like expensive, crazy expensive. And then, like every time, and then like when I went to go eat later, I went to the mall across from the hotel and I was waiting for Dave and Jody and Luco to come. And then I'm sitting there eating and I'm ordering food and the guy's like, oh God, the game, I hate the Patriots, but that was the greatest football game ever. It was crazy. It was an awesome game. And then I had a Patriots shirt on when I went on to the boat, and it was just full of New England people, and everybody was just like, yeah, Patriots. And the best part about all this is Dave, our buddy Dave that comes on the show once in a while with Luco, absolutely hates the Patriots, even though he lives in Maine and lives in New England. He's not a Patriots fan. He's a Dallas Cowboys fan. And it went up his butt so bad that, one, the Patriots had just won the Super Bowl, and we were going on a cruise. And all day long, the first day of the cruise, or any day of that cruise, that anybody had Patriot stuff on, it was like Patriots, blah, 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 and he was mad. He was upset because his team didn't even make the playoffs. It was great. Like, Dave is hardcore football, and I am not, and I love when he flips out when the Dallas loses, and it's funny as hell, and I love busting his chops. It's awesome. Boat, ship, it's all the same. I just call it a boat. Gotta be in New England for the lobster rolls. Here we go. I think that's all I had for news. And then we were talking about that. Oh yeah, so this weekend. Let me make sure I didn't lose any thought of AT Lake Compounce. Just trying to kind of run things over in my mind. I talked about. Oh, I gotta say though, that gave the best rides on Boulder Dash I've ever had in my life. It was nuts because it would rain, like downpour and lightning right before ERT, and then like ERT started like 20 minutes late, which they started once the ERT started. That's when they started the ERT clock, which was nice. But because it was wet and slick, that was, I don't know how many of you that are watching was at Ace Day at Lake Compounce. But let me tell you, it was given such insane rides. There's one spot, after you go by the station and you're going around, that's pretty rough. Well, other than that, the ride's was running spectacular. They didn't run the two trains because it failed some inspection. Not a state inspection, but there was some kind of inspection that they do, and it failed inspection, so they couldn't use the second train. So we only had one train. But the good thing about the ERTs is double rides. And as the night goes on, then you don't have to worry about getting off, really, if nobody's in your row. Or just move to another seat. Wildcat was kind of like... it still has the bobblehead effect. It's not so much that it's rough. It's just when it hits certain corners, you're like... kind of thing. I still like Wildcat, even though it kind of bounces you around. Of course, Phobia was giving great rides. And I love that I keep losing weight because I'm not like getting stapled as much as I was before. Yes, wet tracks are good. Wet tracks make the ride even better. I mean, if you think about it. And it finally took my son Devin, that's 15. After riding Boulder Dash a whole bunch of times. I don't know how many times. 4, 6, 10. I don't know. Whatever we rode. I don't remember. I don't care. But it finally took him till the end of that, like the weather playing a role and how the different ride you feel, weather playing a role with the track. It finally took him up until that day to realize that. And he was like, wow, this is interesting. And like he totally nerded out, and it was cool. So yeah, that was good. The food was good as usual. I always love eating the food. They were kind of like a little bit slow with the baked potatoes, and I know they were like changing over, like still using up from like what was going on earlier. And but food, I enjoyed the food. It was delicious. It was good. I loved it, as always. To me, Wildcats still it still needs a little love. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not perfectly smooth or anything. It definitely needs to... Actually, I think the only steps they could take to fix those is they're going to have to reprofile some of the track. It's just the way that the train is hitting certain turns, and the way it's hitting is you're going to have to reprofile. I don't know if they want to go that route. I think Wildcat, the way it is now, is just probably going to be the way it is until... one day they decide to tear it down, because I think if when it becomes too rough, really too rough again, and there's no ridership to it, and it's either retrack and redo or get a new coaster, I'm probably willing to bet they're going to get a new coaster. I don't think they're going to spend that kind of money again and redo it. I know Jerry, he battled with corporate to keep that because of its history, but I think they got one pass. And because basically a lot of us have been told by Jerry, and Jerry has said it's not like a secret. He didn't say dollar amounts, but he said the amount of money that they spent to redo Wildcat with the trains and the track work and the paint and the lights and all that, they could have bought a new coaster. So they spent millions of dollars to do that. So by all means, Wildcat is still running way better than it did before they started retrack work. Because I don't know how many remember how awful it was and painful. I mean, I've heard people bruise ribs, break ribs, and it usually was like a once-a-year ride just to kind of ride it, and that was it. And it's a lot more enjoyable now than it's been in years past. Is it perfect and smooth by any means? No. But if you think about it with what do you call it? With a wood coaster, you got to expect a little banging around. I mean, we don't want to be like murdered and kiltilated and all that, but again, you have to come to expect that it's not steel, it's not smooth. It's very hard to keep a wood coaster smooth. You're gonna have to like retract the ride completely every year, and that's just not cost effective. We're again the old clothes from before you were so fat. These are still my old clothes, and they fit a hell of a lot better than they did. I like them like that. I don't think they'll. I shouldn't say that. I don't think they would RMC Wildcat. And somebody had said, and I believe it was Coaster Box. I could be wrong. Maybe it was BSM. Somebody said they should RMC Wildcat at Hershey Park. I agree. I mean, the problem is the cost to keep retracking is painful to the wallet, and we all know that. And I applaud that the parks that keep maintaining their wood coasters. I really applaud that. And that's why they're becoming more and more. They're getting rid of more and more and doing the RMC thing, while ripping them down and putting a steel coaster in its place. Because steel coasters, I mean, yeah, you got to change the wheels and do regular maintenance on them, but it's not anywhere near as what you do with a wooden coaster. We all know that. I still love a good wooden coaster. I'm sure, like everybody else does. But if the parks aren't willing to properly maintain them, they're gonna go. They're not gonna be around. But hopefully, people keep maintaining the wood coasters to keep them and building new ones. I mean, you got Mystic Timbers, Oscar's Waxy Taxi, you got Invader, and they keep opening more and more. Slowly, but yeah, I agree. If the choice is losing it or RMC, I would rather see the RMC than the coaster going away. Totally agree. But here's what I want to see, because and the first one that's going to show the signs of it's going to be the new Texas Giant. When they started this, we don't know the long-term effect of the steel on the wood like that. We don't know how the ride is going to maintain its composure over time. I know that they've put steel track like that, steel track on top of wood before. That's not a new concept. But the concept of the iBox steel track and how RMC designs it, I like to see the overall longevity of the ride and how much maintenance has to be done to the supports, and see how it holds up over years. But the first one that we're going to really see how it is going to be the new Texas Giant. That's going to be the first one to really see, 10 years, 15, 20 from when its conception. So 2021 will be the 10-year mark of the Texas Giant. So we'll see how it's holding up at that point. What about RMC wood or wood track on steel supports like Wacky Taxi? I mean, again, because they don't make all wooden coasters have steel track on it, so to speak. But regardless of that, I just want to see how their product lasts over the years. We all know what wood coasters, how they are over the years and all the work they need. So we'll see how these go out. Because if you think about it, the conception of what RMC has been doing is Really new. 2011 was the first one with the Texas Giants. So we're only 7 years into this, which is still a good amount. I think Wildcat is small, but small doesn't mean anything because remember, Wicked Cyclone. Cyclone technically is like a small coaster, and I never thought in a million years that they would have even attempted to do that ride for an RMC because they were doing the Texas Giant, Iron Rattler, and all these coasters, and then boom, here comes Wicked. I'm like, never in a million years they're gonna do Cyclone. For those that were watching the show back then, I was like, no, not gonna happen. I was proven wrong. I was like, there's no way that this can be happening. No way. So never say never. Yeah, Rattler probably. But I still the whole thing, Lindsay on the table says, I would see Rattler more because of inversions. Yes, but I just want to see the whole wooden and steel and the stress of constant over the time. Yes, that Texas Giant doesn't have inversions and Rattler does. We'll see, because then Rattler would be the next one, I believe. If I'm correct. I'm not sure. I think Rattler was the next one. So, we'll see how they come as they come. Really is what would be the thing. It's just insane. I'm glad the technology keeps moving that way. You're seeing all these things happen. And I'm hoping, speaking of SNS with the Hershey Park thing, I'm hoping somebody picks up in the United States one of those new Vekoma launches. I'm hoping that somebody does that. I really do. I'm really interested to ride one of those and see how they work. Very interested. All right, so let's talk about Ace Plays in Maine, and then we got some other stuff to discuss. So Ace Plays in Maine, obviously we're not talking about what happened because it hasn't happened yet. It's Saturday at Palace Playland and Funtown Splashtown. In the morning, you're at Palace Playland at from 5 on, or whenever you feel like it to get there. Stuff goes on at Funtown Splashtown. So, yeah. So, if you're going to the event, Russ sent out an email so you can see all the information, especially if you're going to take the trolley from Funtown to Palace Playland and then back. So you don't have to pay to. I'm just going to suck it up and pay to park at over by Palace Playland because I'm not taking. I know I'm not going to get Luco and the kids and everybody up in time to leave early enough to get to the trolley. It's just not going to happen. So I'm going to just drive right to the park and do that. That's just what I'm going to do. And we'll do that. And then drive over to Funtown, Splashtown, and then chill out there, and then head home. Matter of fact, I got to drop the kids off on the way home to their mother's house so they can go on their trip. They're leaving as soon as we come back. It's going to be crazy. "66% of my kids can't wait for Saturday." I can't wait for Saturday. For one, it'll be Jeremy's first time there. Also Jessica's, Alyssa's. It won't be my first, Devin's, or Luco's first because we were there for CoasterCon. Oh no, Luco didn't go there for CoasterCon, but I'm sure he's been there. He skipped that part of con for work because of the food show. But I'll be there hanging out and then heading to Funtown. But anyway, so we're going to do live stuff. And if anybody paid attention, I actually did more coverage than I usually do during events. I did Facebook, Twitter. I did a different Instagram, not the SFNEOnline one. But I don't have that information stored in my phone, and I need to do that. I should probably do that so I could do that. But I actually did live video. I posted stuff during the events. So make sure you tune into all the facets of SFNEOnline, and you will see things that I do. Plus, it's just to prove the point that, hey, this can be done, and I know it takes a lot for people to actually want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, because you're having fun, you're in the moment, you're filming stuff, you're doing stuff, you're hanging out, you're talking, you're chit-chatting. So I can see what that is. The kids have never been to Palace. Yes, it had steel supports to withstand a hurricane, which it did in the short term, but the property hasn't been used since the Deepwater Horizon. Yeah, it's a shame about New Orleans, and hopefully somebody does something with that and makes another comeback with a park. I'm hoping. Powell's Playland, though small, it still is fun. It has, for the size, it has a good ride selection. It's not bad. It's a fun little place. Plus, I can't wait to try Sea Viper, and I love Wipeout. Even though I haven't ridden Wipeout, but I've ridden the other ones like it. They're fun little coasters. I enjoy it. That's all that needs to be said about that. So, what I was saying earlier about revamping SFNEOnline, period. And I'm talking about the social media aspect in terms of, I say 2009 is when the park was abandoned because that's when Six Flags officially gave up. Yeah, they gave up, especially with all the stuff going on. They did. So basically, in this notebook is going to be the book of ideas. And I need everybody's help to fill this book of ideas. I try my best to try to make a lot of different videos that people like. Sometimes, like I know the whole ACE thing, and a lot of people didn't really care too much about the election stuff and passed on by. And by all means, that is fine. Not every video somebody's going to love. So I've come up with ideas and new things. So when it comes time, when were rides removed from New Orleans? Some were removed before it reopened. Well, before they officially was like, I'm done. They took what they could that was salvageable, did whatever, and then just left the rest. They were like, we're done. See you later. Peace out. Bye. But anyway, so we're going to keep continuing doing the vlogs. I'm going to do the music video thing. The park likes it when I do it. Some of the fans like when I do it. I know with the, being the old days of me being a rapper, and I can't sing and I can't hold a tune, so I don't do that. Tony Pope made a post on her Facebook page that the people who control the park don't trust her because she's a woman. I have no idea who Tanya Pope is. I have no idea who that is. You'd have to fill me in on who Tanya Pope is. That name doesn't ring a bell. I don't know why. But anyway, so I'm going to continue. I mean, we don't saturate with music videos only when something inspires to do it. We're going to continue doing the park walkthroughs. I have a whole list of stuff that I'm going to do with the park, like interviews. We're going to be putting together a thing, and I got to talk to the park about when we're going to do it. It's going to have to happen next month. And then I think we're going to run with 6 people for this thing that we're going to do. We're going to ask 6 people. It's going to cost you some money, but it's going to be fun. And I don't want to say it just yet. When it's time to, we will. But we're going to have fun with it. And we're going to do it and see how it works out. Maybe we can do something different with it. And you'll understand when I talk about it, because I make a video about it, announcing it, when it's going to happen, and all the details, and what it's going to be, and so on and so forth. But it's going to be fun. Something fun to do and fun to edit, and I think everybody will like it. We're also going to do park walkthroughs of all the parks that we do go to. We're starting to make connections with Edaville, so we're going to work on that relationship. I'm going to be working with Jerry Brick on some stuff. Obviously with Six Flags New England. We're just trying to build up the thing. But the question is to you, things that you do enjoy or things that we don't do, let us know. What you'd like us to do. There may be some stuff that we don't do that maybe you'd like to see us take a spin at it. I mean, we've done food reviews and we've done a whole bunch of stuff, and I do want to get into some history stuff, of past defunct parks. I mean, a lot of the stuff's been beaten to death, especially in New England. I mean, parks all over, Rocky Point and Whalum and all that. I'd like to make some videos on that, but I know some of the stuff may be hard to get certain footage of stuff. I mean, Rocky Point, there's footage galore, I know that. I like to do some, past ride stuff from Six Flags New England, even Lake Compounce. I'm sure if the park has any footage, or if I can get footage from people, pictures, and talk about it. The park also removed 2 rides before the storm to make way for a water park. Well, they took Batman, the Drop Towers, Runaway Mine Train. They also stole parts from their flying scooters thing. Yeah, I mean, they took what they could. They salvaged what they could, sent whatever off, and then left the rest. I mean, that whole New Orleans thing was weird, and I get it. They were probably like, it's going to cost way too much money to redo New Orleans, and just took the loss and ran. That's what I think. So, once I start filling up my ideas of books and stuff, as we do this, I am going to periodically make posts, ask for feedback. We'll talk about it on the show. And by all means, the way I feel is, and I know a lot of people don't like to get involved with stuff. Some people feel like, oh, it's a stupid idea. Realistically, there's no such thing as a stupid idea. And the answer is always no, unless you ask. So the way I feel about it is, if there's something that you'd like to see us give it a try, by all means, let us know. Because there's a couple things I want to do. And I really want to, some different kind of podcasts. We're going to, once we move out of here, there will be an actual studio built at my parents' house, like from the ground up, literally built walls, floors, everything. And it's going to be designed in such a way that I can do multiple different things in it. It'll be big enough that I can set up different sets and have an editing space and be roomy and not this little thing here. It's really tight over here because of all the pinball machines. Pinball machines are going to have their own spot. It's going to actually look like an amusement park backdrop of sorts. It's going to be cool. And then we're going to, like, totally, when that time comes, revamp what we're doing. But in the meantime, we're going to practice stuff and do stuff ahead of time to see what works. And maybe the old SFNEOnline YouTube channel is going to be a test channel for things. And then if people like that, then we'll know by that. And then we just keep doing what works here on this one. I mean, because I don't want to, like, start over fresh with the SFNEOnline channel, because we have more subscribers on this channel than we do the other one. So, obviously, you're going to take what you have that's built up and keep building it up. I already have the 4,000 watch hours to get, what do you call it? That's part of the required thing. Holly Quinn is going to be in the studio with us. She is going to be there. But, I'll give you an example. When you look at, like, talk shows like the Talking Dead or other things, I want to have an area set up part like that in the studio to do something like that, and then have an area where I do this, the Grove Show. But it'll probably just change the name of it and kind of like just let that be part of the SFNEOnline history, and then move on to something new. You know what I'm saying? So, it's cramped in here. I don't have a space upstairs to do this. This is in my basement. So, I feel, I have to put shelves for cameras and stuff, all different little pieces, for my GoPros and straps and what's in here. Oh, different, tripods. I'm trying to be organized as best as possible so I know where things are when I need it. And it's tough. What's up, Marcus Bean? Yep, still adjusting to that time chain, but it's all good, man. You can always rewatch whatever, but we had a good conversation about Kennywood. Don't worry, man. We got you back. So yeah, like I said, this show is going to be totally evolving, revamping, because I've been watching like a lot of the more popular amusement park fan YouTube channels, and I'm like, what am I not doing to still be low on a totem pole? And I know a few of the things that I haven't done. Obviously, people either I'm not promoting right or they don't like the content. Yeah, the other house was in the garage, and you always had the fan blowing from the heat. we're gonna evolve. But like I said, when I move into my parents' house and we build the addition of the house, and I build there's gonna be a big. Like I said, the studio itself is probably gonna be as big as this area with the pinballs is. It's just gonna be for the grow show, so I'll be able to do different things, or at least like this big. Maybe not like that wide, but at least the size of this room here would be perfect, and then I can do a bunch of stuff, and also soon, like I said, we're going to put out a video asking for people that want to get down and help with SFNEOnline for things to happen. Like I said, I can't do it all myself. Luco helps with filming stuff when we're together. And then I try to edit my best. I know my editing skills suck. And I'm working on it. I keep watching different techniques and stuff. And, the more I do, the more I practice. And, I try to record everything that I can when I'm at the parks. And I know a lot of people like live stuff, so I've been trying to do more of that. Especially like on YouTube. Instead of just mainly focusing on Facebook Live, do more YouTube Live stuff. People tend to like it. I don't know. We'll see. And we'll just go from there as time goes on. I know there is no magic button to becoming popular. It takes some kind of video of something, and people all of a sudden, bam, Or maybe if you do a collab with somebody, and then, bam, it's there's no magic button, and I know that, and I'm not pushing to go fast. I would rather kind of go slow and steady, and then fast, and then stall out, and then people disappear. So, I like the growth. I mean, if you think about it, I've only been pushing this since, October? Really putting the push. So, we're at November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So, for 9 months of doing this, it could be better, but I'm happy where I'm at, to be honest. And besides, you guys like it. People are liking it. A lot of things are going good. No complaints. No complaints. Yes, this is. I would not call this a studio right here. I mean, this is my area, but this for me, for what yeah, I can figure a way around. Here's my problem. My brain is always working. I will be sleeping, and then I will wake up, and I do this every single night, and that's why now I have this big notebook that's going to sit by the bed so I don't have to go running around, and that way I can fall right back to sleep after I write the idea in it. My mind is always working. I'm always trying to find something to entertain everybody. I mean, that's why I've tried different things between this and the vlogs and the, whatever videos that I've put out, whether it's a walkthrough or a music video thing of me rapping, whatever it is. I made an entire season of Power Rangers set in New Orleans. It's the 30th anniversary, an adaptation of the, I don't know what that word is, series, something verse, something. I'm not even going to try to attempt to pronounce those words. I think I was born too early for Power Rangers. I could never get into Power Rangers. And it's the same thing with Pokemon. Could never get, I think I just was a little too late to the game. Because when Power Rangers were coming out and were a thing, and Pokemon was coming out as a thing, I was a teenager and I was trying to pick up chicks and whatever. My mind wasn't on Pokemon, and I was almost graduating high school when all that stuff was coming out. So you can see where my mind's at, you know what I'm saying? That I'm past that. A lot of people love the Pokemon and Power Rangers, and by all means. Yeah, my mind should never be let out on its own. Let me tell you, I've come up with some crazy ideas. As a matter of fact, it's kind of like reinventing the wheel with the other channel, the Martin's Family one. The other notebook, obviously, for that, and I'm going to sit there and write. Because we've neglected that one. We haven't really, we were just kind of just finding our way to see what's what. And if you look at, you can tell what's popular and what's not popular. And we're just, same thing with this channel. It's just trying to find your way. It's trying to find the audience, and it's really tough. So you got to keep reinventing yourself, or you're gonna just disappear. That's why I started doing Planet Coaster. Last night we did the total nuclear annihilation pinball. I played for an hour. last night, and then when I got done with that, I played Planet Coaster for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I hope I don't do that again. I'd like to get some sleep. But yeah. I just try different things to see what people like. And if they like it, they like it. If they don't, then, hey, shame on me. That's what I do. All right, we're going to get out of here. But before we go, remember, starting Saturday, once I take out the, the cell phone, I will do pictures. I will do video. I'm at least going to do Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. I will do live from both parks. I'm going to be filming. I'll probably... I don't know which one I want to take. I'm debating on which camera to take. I don't know yet. I got to think about that. Yeah, I think I'm going to do daily vlogs on the family channel, but I also want to get the kids involved in the Grove Show, SFNEOnline channel. Jeremy's starting, my youngest one, he's 13. Hey, thank you, Charles, for liking the show. Jeremy's starting to kind of come out with his personality, and he's starting to kind of get out of the camera shy thing, and he loves talking into the camera. He's always recording videos. He has his own YouTube channel. I gotta buy him the thing that I haven't even opened yet. To broadcast to stream the Xbox, whatever that Luco knows what the thing is I bought. He takes I gotta laugh. He has 2 laptops, and he's got one on him, one facing the Xbox, playing a game, and he's talking. People like watching it. I mean, it's not huge, but he likes doing it. So, but if you notice in some of the videos, like if like Compounce, and you look at some of the other videos that we've done, like a vlog type, hey, we're at Ace Day, or we're at CoasterCon, we're Devin's older, Jeremy's younger. I might have messed that up. But still, the Devin's more camera shy and doesn't care. It's saying late Saturday, early Sunday, the rain. And Jeremy's becoming more funnier. Yeah, Devin just really... See, the funny thing is, I came up with this scheme for the kids, trying to do with the Martin's family channel thing, about them to... See, I've always had this dream that I've always wanted to do a song with the kids. Not a dirty kill or murder song. Like, just being able to say, hey, me and my kids made a song together. Always been a dream from even when I was doing Dr. Giggles, murdering and giving abortions and stuff on my songs. But it was always a dream. And then, like, Devin was fighting me. The kids don't know how to rap or anything like that. So the song's probably going to be horrible. And, but we're gonna record a song. Basically, the process is I'm gonna record all my vocals, the whole thing, for all the parts of the song, and then the kids are gonna rap over it, and I'm gonna remove my vocals, and it's gonna just be theirs. And then we're gonna film a video for it, just a dream that I had, and then we're gonna do it and put it there. Devin's been fighting me. Jeremy's like, yeah, let's do it. So we'll see. But I will probably do like another Christmas one. See, I know you can promote channels somehow, and I don't know how to do it, and I got to research more how to promote the channels. But I know he's like Monkey Master something. Once I can figure out how to do that, I don't know. I'm not the computer nerd. You're lucky I know how to do this, like with all the equipment to do this, and and I'm learning the editing stuff. I'm actually thinking about getting that. And I told Luco the other, what is it? The Photoshop, whatever people they do the video editing software that's like $50 a month or something. I was thinking about it, and yeah, I could put a link in the description of this after the show. I can go get Monkey Master, and then people can check out the thing. But I know there's a way when you look at somebody's channel, you can see like they're linked up together somehow on the right hand side when you're looking at a thing, and you can see like associated channels or something. It's with the little eye in the corner of the video. Where? Where are you seeing it? I can't see what's going on. I'm not looking at the video. Where's the eye? What eye? Where the hell do you see an eye in the corner of the video? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to add it to. I don't know how to add that. I got to figure that out. Yeah, Adobe, whatever that is. Yeah, Adobe. The movie, a lot of people use it, and it has. See, I use Power Director, and which is fine, but there's a lot more cool things you can do on Adobe Premiere. That's what it is. That I've seen like people use, and the effects that they use, and I want to use. Some of the stuff just isn't as good as in Power Director. So I want to try out the Adobe one. I mean, obviously Power Director is cheaper. You know, I was trying to do cheap and not expensive, but yeah, see, I never used Adobe Premiere, and I used to use like Sony Vegas, and then there was another one I used to use. Sony Vegas was alright. It was a little tough at first, and then I kind of got that down. But it's all about like different things that I want to do and use, and bring it, and I'll try it out. Yeah, I don't even know what you guys were seeing in the corner. Because like when I look at the video, I don't know what you guys were looking at. I have no idea. A year or two ago, there was something. I don't know. There's a lot of things we're going to do. And then when I put the video out of people that want to help out, you don't always have to do like crazy things. Any help is good help. You know, we're going to need people that can help create logos and stuff, because eventually I'd like to at least make a t-shirt or something. Power Director is just one payment. You pay whatever, and it's whatever. Which is great. So yeah. Use Power Director to make you look prettier. You know what? There is nothing out there that's going to make me look prettier. It doesn't exist, but that's okay. Yeah, so like I said, we're going to be revamping and trying things. There's going to be all kinds of crazy things we think of and try. And I would really appreciate when there's a video of something different that comes out, those that watch it, just say if you like it, you don't like it. Any feedback on videos, trust me, is greatly appreciated. I get it. I'm a big boy. I can handle criticisms. So don't be afraid to be like, hey, this video sucks. You know, or, hey, this is great. Keep doing these kinds of things. I know I sound like a broken record asking for this all the time, but truly it's what I need. That's how I can judge if people like it or not. You know, people are starting to kind of like the idea of Planet Coaster when I actually do good. I started one last night and it was cool. Now I figured out how to make tunnels. It's awesome. Actually, you know what would make me pretty at Coaster Kev? Putting a bag on my head and turning off the lights. Then I could draw like a smiley face with 2 eye holes. Maybe one for my mouth. Like maybe I can, I don't know, just so I can breathe. But still, that would make me look prettier. We'd be good. So anyway, we are gonna, don't forget, Saturday, just keep looking. You'll see things pop up on Saturday for Pals Playland and Funtown Splashtown. We're going to do it. We're going to make videos and all that stuff. I'm trying to get the kids more involved in it, because the kids, you know, when they do things, some of the stuff that they do is pretty funny. You know, and I know, like, the younger people like that stuff. So, you know, when kids are doing kid things, kids like that stuff. And I think because, like, mentally I'm like 5 sometimes, the kids like that too. So I try to entertain. I try to do things. I don't know how many remember this, but back when, I don't know how many years ago, but it was in the old house, like around Halloween time, I used to like, I remember there was one show, I wore like 10 or 15 different costumes. Like I'd play a video, and then I'd act all crazy, and then I'd come back on in a different costume. And then later on, I'd be da-da-da-da-da-da, you know. Do that for a Fright Fest rap. Try to get that on, the paper bag thing. I mean, depending upon what it is, if you work with certain parks, they may let you, as long as it's not going to break any safety rules. And it depends. You know, depends how busy the park is. Depends if the park likes you enough. Depends if the park is going to let you do it. It really... They're not going to let you do anything that's going to break safety rules and potentially cause a safety hazard. Ella is staying home. Why is Ella staying home on Saturday? Why is Ella... Is she not feeling okay? Or does she not want to go? Why is Ella not going Saturday? Why? The whole clan's got to be there. I don't know. But anyway, so like I said, I'm like a broken record. Don't forget Saturday we're gonna have coverage from Palace Playland, Funtown Splashtown, coverage of the event, whatever we can get going. I'm gonna try more to do. I don't know why I don't do this, but while I'm waiting in line. Okay. I get what you're saying, Charles. Yeah, I mean, I'll have to talk to the park to see if they allow me to bring a camera on. It would be nice. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Maybe I should talk to Dave and see if Dave can arrange that, because Dave works there. He may or may not. I'll have to talk to him to see if he can talk to him, to see if maybe I can bring a GoPro with a chest mount on it, ride the front row and ride it. Maybe they'll let me do that. I'll talk to Dave about that. He may be able to arrange it. They may not allow that. I know during Ace events you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to record anything. So this would have to be done another time. You have to get permission. So if the park allows permission, then we can arrange that. I know in Ace rules you're not supposed to take video. You have to follow all rules. So we'll see how that pans out. But again, Saturday, look for the information. If I see you at the park, don't hesitate to come up and say hi and hang out. I don't bite, well, unless you want me to. Also, we will be back next Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel. And starting Sunday, I'm a free man for 2 weeks, no kids. So it's going to be party time. So I need to get to Six Flags New England and get some coverage going for Food and Brew and whatever else. So I'm going to play hooky one day. I kind of need a me day. I need a me day. Yeah, they don't really. They just the whole thing with Ace is they just want you to follow the park rules. But I think if you have permission ahead of time, it can be done. So I will try to see if I can get permission ahead of time. Don't know, but I do have plenty of GoPros and chest mounts galore to go with it. So we'll see if I can get that done. If I can do it, I will gladly do it. I'll see what the park says. It'll be cool if we can. We will party hardy. Yeah, because the following weekend, no, in 2 weeks, the weekend that the kids come back, we're having a party here. Pinball, karaoke, crazy party. It's going to be crazy. So I will see you guys next week. If you see me at the park, say hi. We'll look for the coverage. And we will see you guys next week. Till next time, everybody, have fun. I'm the Giggles. And keep on coasting, y'all. Peace out.